Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining. We are back again on another episode. Welcome, all Biafrans. Welcome, all the lovers of freedom across the world. It does not matter whichever planet you are joining us from. It doesn't matter under which platform you are standing. What matters is that you have conscience. As long as you have conscience, you are welcomed here and you are going to enjoy your stay. Please like and share as you join us. Make sure you like and share the program. Share to all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to anyone that is close to you. I'm waiting for people to connect so that we can get on with the message of the day. This is something we have signed up for to do, and we will continue to do that. No matter the propaganda, no matter the blackmail, no matter the lies, we cannot be distracted nor deceived. We will continue to make sure that we put the record the way it should be. It does not matter what anybody is thinking about us or what they are saying. What matters is what you think about yourself. What do you feel about yourself? Sometimes you do not need validation from anybody. All you need is to stand up and take responsibility for your own actions. Choose your fate and make decisions by yourself. That is what is required most times. But sometimes we allow people to take charge of our life and decide for us. We allow people to make rules for us, which is not right. You have to make the rules yourself so that you can take responsibility of whatever comes out of it. Every one of us must learn to be taking responsibility for our actions. A lot of things are happening as we speak. And people always find it very comfortable to blame others for a mistake they have made. That is why most of the time when we preach, we will tell you to go and verify. So you have to make your verifications before you believe. You don't just walk based on what we tell you. After we give you the informations, bring out time by yourself. Just make out time to investigate. Make out time to interrogate. Make out your own time to show the world that yes, You know what you are doing. And when you are talking, you can be able to defend whatever you are saying. You don't just report issues by mere hearsay, just like the Caro White lawyer was doing in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Somebody that called himself a lawyer. You went to court to defend your client, a high-profile client like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you are defending him based on hearsay. That's unheard of. That was the highest level of betrayal that was done against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by his own lawyer. Even when the lawyer himself should have known that the judge cannot accept him. Not in ordinary case, let alone in a very high-profile case, Biafran or non-Biafran, no matter the part of the world you are watching from, I will always advise you to verify information before you take action. Before you believe, do your own research. Don't be lazy. Today, research is very easy to do. Today, in today's world, the research is being done for you. It's only for you to just type some few letters and then the information will come out. But yet, some of us are very, very lazy and docile to take that step of making some very simple inquiries. It is sad, but we find it very, very comfortable to blame others. It is unacceptable. Very, very unacceptable. So I urge every one of you to please get into the habit of making inquiries and investigations for every single thing that you are being told. Today we know what is happening in Biafra land. We know the atrocities that are committed against Biafrans today. The mayhem that is unleashed against Biafrans today is not because Biafrans did anything wrong. Today in Abia State, to be precise, people are being punished simply because of the place they come from. Of Nigerian government from the onset, when something happens without investigation and inquiry, a conclusion will be reached and decision will be made. Punishment will be given. And nobody questions it. And the contraption feel it is okay. No country in the world will accept that. It is unacceptable. Not in 21st century. When we have many people of the world talking about rights, defending of rights and defending of rights. You can be defending rights and you'll be allowing this kind of things happening in Nigeria to continue to happen. People have lost their life for crimes they have not committed, something they know nothing about. Today they are getting involved, teenagers. We have heard and seen the arrest of teenagers. And when you confront the government that is perpetrating this atrocity, they will tell you they are not aware. That is the most painful one. They will deny it, as they have always done. What happened in Abia State might just be, I'm saying, it might just be one of the flag-off operations we have always seen in the zoo. And even if it's not that, Whatever group that have carried took that action are not hiding. There are pictures, there are videos, but yet the so-called military, which we know are terrorists in uniform, have decided to unleash mayhem on innocent people in Abia State. For my people in Abia State, I condone with every one of you. I condone with every one of you. You must take heart. It is not your fault. This is what we have all fallen into, and we cannot help it than to just keep managing whatever we have seen until we are completely free. But do not be broken. The main aim of these people is to break you down. If they succeed in breaking you down, then you have lost the battle. Don't allow them to break you down. The atrocities of Nigerian government in Biafra land will never go unpunished. Just like as our Prime Minister have said, even after the independence of Biafra, we are still going to go after them. They will pay for every life lost in Biafra land. Even after our independence, we will continue to go after them. As we speak today, every single soul that was involved in Holocaust and their family, they are being hunted down till date. Even if in the future it is discovered that you played a role in the Holocaust in one way or the other, the state of Israel will hunt you down. They don't look for permission to do that. And they don't feel any regret in doing that, because it is the right thing to do. The same way Biafrans are going to take vengeance for every soul that we are going to lose, or that we are losing already. No matter who you are, no matter your race, no matter your tribe, no matter your religion, it doesn't matter your country, and you play a role on the genocide happening in Biafra land, we are going to go after you. Even after our independence, we will continue to go after them. And we will make sure that we get you down. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, people in Abia State, this time is not the time of merriment. You know, when we talk about the Biafran war not ended, people don't really understand. So many of us Biafrans even don't believe it until when it begins to happen in their own domains. Now they understand the meaning of the words we use. They find it difficult to comprehend because it is not happening in their own territory. Many people are waiting until it gets to their doorstep. Only then and then they will agree that yes, what we are saying is the truth and nothing but the truth. Today, the people in old Abia State are understanding what we mean by saying the Biafran war has not ended. In the case of this issue, it was made very clear. The military came out and declared jungle war in an area that is peaceful. They claimed they were attacked. Incident that is worse than what happened has happened in so many other areas. There was no uproar. Just of recent, we saw the execution of some Christians by ISWAP. These are innocent people that did nothing. the ISWAP executed them and showed the video. Innocent civilians. And we did not see the military speak in anger that they are going to flush out the ISWAP. We have seen the terrorists taking over the northern part of Nigeria. Yet, the Nigerian military has not shown anger. Instead, they pretend that it is not happening, even when you and I know that it is happening. This has continued to be the situation. The only crime that the Biafrans has committed is that they are blessed. They are blessed naturally. They have their blessings in their brain. They work hard. And they are following the pursuit of independence and their freedom. They love to be free, speak freely, act accordingly, and do what they want to do at their own time. In all of this, nobody seemed to understand. Nobody seemed to understand. People of the world that are watching this program, I will continue to remind you that the man who has been named the Global Ambassador of Peace, he is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, is standing on every legality. He has not committed any crime anywhere, not his private life, not in his political life, not in this agitation. Many people have tried to dig out information and deep things about him, if there are any. They have all his cupboard, they couldn't find anything. And they have resorted to propaganda to tarnish his image. The same way they do to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. After searching and searching and searching, they even blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and say he stole money that was meant for transmitter. And the blackmail came from the inside. After they had tried from outside, nothing. They used people inside to blackmail him. But yet, the blackmail could not fly. At the end of the day, what did we see? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu overcome them. And today, the people who were calling for his head then are now preaching him as the angel of peace. Out of their wickedness and cunning and envy, jealousy, out of their cunning attitude, thinking that they're going to deceive Biafrans. And I will always remind you that when you see somebody today who is an elite, you see somebody today, a politician, claiming to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and hate Mazi Simon Ekpa. You see a politician will come out and speak so bad about Mazi Simon Ekpa, going to the extent of calling for his extradition. And with that same politician will come back and tell you, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used to be an angel. He was fighting innocently. When you see these kind of people, spit on them and walk away. These are the real enemies of the Biafrans. All they are trying to do today is to bring in divide and conquer. That single strategy they have always used. They want to divide us and then destroy us. They have tried it several times. But in this era, it is not working out. They have preached it several times. In this era, the Biafrans refuse to listen. And they are not giving up. My fellow Biafrans, you must not listen to these people. These are the people who do not want you to see the light of the day. And there is no man today that hates Mazi Simon Ekpa so much and we turn around and claim to love Mazi Nnamdi. It is impossible. It is impossible. The person doesn't know what he or she is saying. Either the person is just preaching that message for his or her selfish interest to draw attention, because you all know that whenever you rise and speak against the Biafrans, you draw crowd towards yourself. The easiest way to draw attention and draw crowd is trying to be able to push people around you. When you speak about Biafra, when you declare your hatred of Biafran people, that is when you win attention of the crowd. They have known that, just like Mazi Nnamdi. Mazi Nnamdi have built a name that it only takes you to mention his name and you become popular. If you want to be a celebrity, if you want to be noticed, more especially as a politician, elite or whatever you call yourself, the cheapest way they have known to gain attention is by using the name of Mazi Nnamdi. Some of them will start with the pretense of loving him so much. They will start with the pretense of, oh, he is our hero. He's fighting a just cause. What he's fighting is the right thing. The same people that are telling you that what he's fighting for is the right thing, we are the people that came together, contributed money, sponsored directly and indirectly to kidnap him. After he's kidnapped, the court in the nation has said, this man has not committed any crime, let him go. But unfortunately, after by the court, after the order of the court, they have refused to release him. And the people that call themselves Biafrans, the people that call themselves elites, the people that call themselves intelligent people, that before their own very eyes, an innocent man, a prisoner of conscience, has been held against the law. Most of them today are still walking to the court. Even when a court have pronounced, I'm not talking about a court that belongs to Biafra, it's a court that is working based on Nigerian law. They have said that no law court has the right to try the Supreme Leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi. None of them has the right to try him. The court said so. That no law court has the jurisdiction to try Mazi Nnamdi until they can be able to explain the situation surrounding his kidnapping. That judgment alone helps to make the elites in Biafra land to get mad. That pronunciation is enough to provoke the elites in Biafra land to do what they're supposed to do. But instead of doing that, what do you see? They are playing games on his name. Some of them use his name to go and seek for a contract. Some of them use his name to go and seek for their own personal interest. But no matter what they say or whatever they do, the Supreme Leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi, cannot be broken. They sold him out for their own personal interests, for their own greed and exaltation. They have been doing this. And we all know. Hasn't they done it enough for us to get angry? I do not know what we are waiting for. Haven't you provoked the Biafrans enough? You will beat a child and tell that child not to cry. What other wickedness is more than that? You took away their leader. You kidnapped him. Tortured him for good 8 days. Broke international law and extraordinarily renditioned him to Nigeria. And the world is silent watching. The international community is watching the kidnap of an innocent man simply because it is a Biafran, a black man. Who cares? But I bet you, if Mazi Kanu were to be a white man, or if Mazi Kanu was to be in another country, not in African country, it would have been a different ballgame. His pictures will be flying in every offices in the world, every popular place in the world, every stadium. People will be calling for the release of Mazi Kanu. But what do we see? Today we even see support for terrorist organization in public. And the world see it as a right. Atrocities are supported in the open. And they call it a right. They say it is their right. You must not deny them their right. But look at an innocent man who has not committed any crime. His right denied from him. And nobody is disturbed about this. Nobody cares. People are going about their business as if nothing happens. It is 3 years, or almost 3 years now. Mazi Kanu is being held. Not because he committed a crime. The late Muhammadu Buhari, who was the former president of the zoo, said that he is going to pass through the process of the court. That he was not ready to go into any political negotiation. And Mazi Kanu said very well, he himself is not interested in any political negotiation because he knows he committed no crime. Let's go through the court. And Mazi Kanu passed through their court process. After passing through the court process, he was declared innocent. Instead of releasing him, they continue to keep him in captivity. Instead of releasing him, they continue to hold him against the order of the court. And you think it is right. Well, today it is Mazi Kanu. Who knows who is going to be tomorrow? In this same country, every one of us was there when MKO Abiola was murdered in cold blood. What did they do? They went and took their stooge and put in power. And then people forgot about the whole issue. Even when they knew that a crime was committed. MKO Abiola was only given GCFR, or whatever they call it, after his death. In one of his remembrance, they gave him GCFR. For what? A dead man. What has making him GCFR got to do with restoring sanity to the system, so that that very evil will not repeat again. Giving him GCFR after death is a deception. They call it compensation, console. To who? Who are you consoling and who are you compensating? He destroyed a man whose people's future were in his hand. He might not be perfect, just like every other person is not. But at least the people has given him the mandate. What stops you from allowing him to use his mandate? We have come a long way. But the problem is that we don't learn our lessons. I don't know when we are going to learn. We are going through the same thing every blessed day. Through the same problem, the same atrocity is happening day in, day out. And people don't take precautions. It is not ordinary. We always fall into the deception of the enemy. We believe their lies, even when we know that we are being lied to. Majority of the people in that contraction called Nigeria are cowards. People who only care about their belly. They don't care about their future. And that is not just common with the Nigerians, blacks generally. Most of the time, we do not talk about our future. We care about what we eat today and forget it today. But people who are with us in this planet Earth, call it the people from the Asia, Europe, America, these are people who are much more concerned about the future. They are much more concerned in storing wealth for their children unborn. They don't care about what today is going to give. They reserve for the future. But most of us, we do not care. That is why a government will come and compensate an individual at the expense of a whole nation and their future, and people will accept it. That is madness, arrant nonsense. Nobody does. No sensible person will jeopardize the life of a whole community just to promote him or herself. No sensible person will accept that. But what do we see? What we see is that it is acceptable when it comes to black Africans, more especially Nigerians. The easiest way to buy a Nigerian man when a crime is committed is to promise him heaven and earth. Tell him that he's going to be the next person in charge of the crime. As long as that crime fetches money, he is going to support it with all that he has, including investing in it. My people, we have to be able to focus on what we want to do. We have to take our fate in our own hand. Do not allow the work of the evil ones or people who do not mean well for you to continue to control your destiny. We must have to take our future in our own hand. Until we begin to do that, it is going to be more difficult in the days to come. I have said it the other day, that until you see your freedom, very important that you can be able to put your life in it. Until you begin to see your freedom in that way, you are not ready to be free. Once you begin to see your freedom, very important that you can afford to give your life for it. Only then and then the world will know that you are serious and you are ready to be free. Freedom is never cheap and has never at any point in time come cheap. it comes with great sacrifice. Freedom comes with great sacrifice. Huge, huge sacrifice that need to be made. And until you are ready to make those sacrifices, you should know that you are not ready for freedom. So many of us today, we are in places that are supposed to be places that are not to be compared with where we come from. So many of us today, we are running to countries that we are supposed to be better than. So many of us are running to countries that contraption have sponsored to be what they are. But yet, your country that is busy sponsoring people today is behind. Today, people talk about Singapore, talk about Malaysia, talk about so many other European countries. These were countries who we are nowhere close to Nigeria some time ago. But instead of Nigeria climbing, we are seeing depreciation, declining on daily basis, getting worse. What we see is failure, insecurity, backwardness. And the greatest liars are the Europeans who encourages this failure. Europeans will come and describe Nigeria as a big democracy. I don't know how a sensible person will wake up and begin to describe Nigeria as a democracy, even when we know that it is not true. Nigeria is not a democracy, have never been, and there are evidence of it. That is why I say most of the time you don't just get the information and realize, go and make your verification. We have heard the confession of somebody who was part. We had confession of somebody who was part of the colonialism during the time of colonial masters, who confessed, the British man who confessed and said that the very first election that was conducted in Nigeria to make it, that was supposed to make Nigeria a democracy, the very first election ever was rigged by the colonial masters. They rigged it to favor the Fulanis. Why? Because they were afraid and scared of the Biafran people, or let's say people from the south. They said they never trusted them. And when you hear they don't trust them, it's not that they don't trust them that they cannot be able to manage the country. It's not that they don't trust them that they cannot be able to lead the country. They do not trust them because they will not allow them to exploit the country. So when we are saying that they say they don't trust people in the South, we need to interpret it and translate it the way it should be. The reason they don't trust the South is because the Southerners cannot be manipulated. And because of that, they rigged the election towards the North, so that they can be able to use the wealth in the southern part of Nigeria to develop their country and also give the Fulanis opportunity to have some for themselves. You and I know that the Fulanis, the people that we know, they have no home. These are fugitives and vagabonds. These are vagabonds that cannot be trusted. Fugitives that have no place. But yet, they choose to sell Nigeria to them through blackmail and propaganda. And it was that promise that made them to get into the deal of making sure that power remains in their own hands. That is why till tomorrow, no matter what you do, except you are loyal to Sokoto Caliphate, you cannot have any post. They have extended their tentacles up to being the leader of the traditional rulers. You cannot be the leader of Ohanes and B if you are not appointed. By Sokoto, the appointment is done by proxy through the politicians. They do it without minding on a daily basis. And if you think it's a joke, think again, because it's a reality. You cannot be appointed in any post except you have an approval from Sokoto Caliphate. That has always been the method. But I pray that things will get to change. If it doesn't, it's going to be hard. I pray that things will change. Just hold on, please. Let me get some things I want to buy. I want to get a coconut water to drink. Yeah, one. Fine. Good. So I'm feeling thirsty. Let me get coconut water, then we continue. So it is not easy for you to get any position. Yeah. Yeah. What? How many viewers? Our subscribers. About 15,000. 15,000. Sorry, please, let me get, I'm feeling thirsty. Let me get coconut water before we continue. So, as I was saying, we must have to try to stand our ground and do not allow anybody to deceive us, because the place we find ourselves, they are not helping us. The contraption called Nigeria has been made the way it should be. And there's nothing you can do to change it. If you think you can be able to change it, you will only try. But at the end of your trial, you'll find out that everything will remain the same. This is just a fruit shop where you can buy fruits, but I want to buy coconut water. All right. So, my fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you, and I urge you to stand strong. Don't allow anybody to confuse you or distract you. Do not allow anybody to tell you what you're supposed to know, or to tell you what is not obtainable. There are several things that are not right. So many things that are not right. But for the fact that the government have allowed it to happen, we cannot accept them. Sometimes when somebody has been in a difficult situation for a very long time, they begin to see it as something right, but it is not. It is not right. Something that is wrong is always wrong, regardless who commits the crime or who doesn't. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So, I urge every one of us to stand strong and stand firm. Do not allow anybody to deceive you or distract you or lead you into doing something that you think is not normal to do.
Only
We
water,
must.
bro?
Yeah, only water.
No. I give you free.
All right, thank you. You see, that's where things are done in a very good place. You see, I bought only one and he's trying to add one for me again. This is what you see for people who are living in a country where things are easy. This is just coconut. I wanted to buy one, but he's adding one for me free. Not because he had so much or not because he's so rich or so what, but when you are in a country where your head is cool and you can be able to think like a human, there are certain things you don't do. There are certain things you accept. So, all right, thank you. So I've gotten my coconut water, and I'm going to take my coconut water as I'm going to get more strength. That is it. He gave me 2. That's how they put it in a nylon and put a straw. They put a straw in it. You can just put it in a straw and then you take it. So my fellow Biafrans, the battle we are fighting is not a small one. It is not a small one. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of strength. But we must continue. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how hard, we must continue until we get our destination. Sometimes you will see a reason not to fight anymore. But I tell you, when you are seeing reasons from individuals, people that are going to push you not to fight again, when you wake up and you go to the media, you will see 1,000 reasons why you must stand your ground and continue to fight for your freedom. I mean 1,000 reasons. Do not allow anybody to bully you. Don't allow anybody to cow you. Do not allow anybody to make you feel less of a human. Because if you try to relegate your responsibility to others, they're going to trash you. You must stand your ground. Freedom doesn't come cheap. It comes with a huge sacrifice. And when I say huge sacrifice, I mean huge, huge sacrifice. If you are not ready to make a sacrifice, you are not ready for freedom. It is not enough to come and shout, all hail Biafra, all hail Biafra. I want freedom. It takes more than that. That is why I urge every one of us to please continue to hang on. It is not easy. It is tough and difficult, but we can do it. Yes, we can. There's no doubt. We can do it. And I say, yes, we can. So, my fellow Biafrans, please continue to stand firm. Continue to be steadfast. Continue to be what you're supposed to be. It does not matter what anybody thinks about you or what they say. The more they think about you and talk about you, the more you have the courage to win. The assurance I'm giving to everyone of you is that no matter what they say, our destination is victory. And victory we must have. I thank you all for being with me on this very episode. I think we are going to cut it off here. I will be back again tomorrow by special grace of Chukwu Kakabiam. It is not easy. The battle is not easy. Sometimes it's very, very difficult. And you wouldn't know how to go about it. You wouldn't know what to say. But we must continue. Regardless what the enemy is saying, we must continue. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate every one of you. Stay blessed. Huh?
We did that one today. I'm going to do here Nnamdi today. Friday. You said that, actually, I said that, but I went more strength.